to not do. Anything that causes you issues, pain, take it easy. Take a step back. I say this quite often, but if you need to take today and just lay on your mat the entire practice and just listen to my voice and breathe, that's yoga. That's going to help you, again, unwind, recalibrate, all of the things. So we'll start seated. Find a seat that's comfortable. You can sit on the floor. You can sit on a chair, couch, bed, any of those things. And then just go ahead and let your eyes rest closed. And we'll just begin with a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, using this little bit of time in the very beginning to disconnect from what has happened so far today, what we must attend to later today. Disconnect from speculation. Speculation is what gets us in trouble. And just start to bring your awareness and attention to your breath. So as you breathe in, it's in through your nose. As you breathe out, it is out through your nose. There is a evenness with your breath, perhaps choosing a number that works. 4 for inhale, 4 for exhale, or you can even go up to 6. If you feel like you need even more introspection today, you can always take the exhales out a couple counts longer than those inhales. Maybe in for 4, out for 6. Just spending a little bit of time breathing deeply in and out of the nose. And as you do this, as you come to your body, to your breath, start to allow the forehead to relax, the face and jaw to relax, shoulders ease down away from the ears. Let your elbows be nice and heavy. Notice if there's any clenching or gripping happening in your hips, your thighs. Just try to let those legs relax as much as possible. And then from here, perhaps setting your intention for practice today. Mine, if you're curious, is to release the need for speculation, to try to stay out of that speculation business altogether as much as I can. Right? It's going to happen, but then you can just kind of catch it and say, oh, I'm just breathing. I'm here. I'm breathing. So whatever intention you've chosen today, go ahead and bring palms together. Let thumbs rest right at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Sealing in that intention with your next breath, breathing in, holding it in. And long, slow exhale. Awesome. Go ahead and ease the palms down. Open your eyes. We'll do a few things seated here for neck and shoulders since that's a request. So if you want to switch out the way you're sitting across of your legs, anything like that, go for it. Let's inhale, reach and stretch the arms up. And then exhale, bring your left hand down, reach and stretch that right arm up and over, and then relax both shoulders. So it's a big opening down the right side body. Just a couple breaths here, both shoulders nice and relaxed. And then start to circle the arm down and around. So some nice big circles here. Breathing as you go. Good. And then reversing, moving the shoulder in an opposite direction here. Getting all that synovial fluid there into the shoulder joints. Warming up that right shoulder. Good, last circle, come all the way up, back and around. Both hands down on the knees and then bring your left ear to your left shoulder. So we've got that right shoulder all nice and warmed up. Let's get into the right side of the neck. Just relax here, both shoulders down, left ear towards shoulder. This might be enough for you. If you feel like you want a little bit more here, then you can lift that right arm out to the side. You can levitate it or you can drop it down, but just whichever works best for you. And then if you want to nod your head yes and no here, make a little movement for that right side of your neck, you can do that. Whatever you choose to do here, just breathe deeply. Good, a couple more breaths. And then if the right hand is lifted, return it back to right knee, bring your head to center, and just circle those shoulders around a few times. You'll notice the difference between right side of the neck, left side. Awesome. And then drop those shoulders down. Take a big inhale, reach arms up. And then exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. Nice big stretch down left side body. Nice deep breathing here, in and out of the nose. Awesome. Good. And then let's circle the left arm down and around. So some nice big circles here. Just again, getting that fluid down there into the left shoulder. Good. And then reverse, moving the circle in the opposite direction. Again, noticing as you go here, any extra tensing you might be doing in the shoulders, just try to let them drop down. Good. And then last circle brings you all the way back up, over and around, both hands down on the knees, and then right away, take that right ear to the right shoulder. This could be enough here. You can also choose to levitate that left arm or bring it to the floor. You could choose to nod the head yes or no, whichever works best. Give yourself whatever you need here. Breathe in and out of the nose. Awesome. Good. Let's bring your head back to center, return left hand, left knee, and again, circle those shoulders around. Good. Everything nice and warmed up. And then let's make our way to the mat for hands and knees, table pose. So go ahead and find your way there. Make sure we get a good little camera set up here. Alrighty. Once you get to your mat, let's just start to move through some cat-cow. So get your spine moving around. Notice what is there. It's a different experience every time you come to your mat. Some days you just feel like a well-oiled machine, and then some days you feel like the Tin Man. So whichever position you're in, try to stay out of speculation. Just move around. Good. And then let's find a nice neutral table, hands and knees, and then go ahead and reach your right leg back behind you, flex through the right foot, and then let's reach the left arm forward, bicep facing ear, thumb facing ceiling. Really engage the core here. Now, if it's too much, you can drop the left hand down. Just let your eyes gently gaze down at the floor. Good. And then bring the left hand down. Let's step that right foot through between the hands up on top of this right knee, and just kind of move back and forth into the front of that left thigh. Awesome. Good. And then we're going to drop it down into a twist. So come forward, drop the left hand down, and then reach and stretch that right arm up. You can keep this twist pretty straightforward here, or if you want to flex your right foot, let the right knee fall out to the side, you can do that. Just kind of go where it feels comfortable for you. You can move back and forth just ever so slightly here if you're still feeling like you're warming up. Awesome. And then let's go ahead and bring that right hand down. We'll move back into hamstring stretch, baby Hanuman. Wiggle the right foot forward, flex through the right foot, and fold. Keep your neck nice and long. Keep your breath nice and full. Breathing in and out of your nose. Awesome. Good. And then let's start to bend back into the right knee. Bring those hands to the floor. Take some cat-cow here, or you can circle those hips around. Just integrate everything we just did. Good. And then let's drop to neutral, and we'll stretch that left leg back, flex through left foot, and then reach the right arm forward. You can also optionally drop the right hand down. Keep your eyes looking gently down at the mat, soften the eyes, and make sure you're breathing in and out of your nose. Awesome. Good. Let's drop the right hand down, step your left foot forward, and then bring those hands up onto the left knee and just kind of rock forward and back here, finding just your warm up place here, warming up the front of that right thigh. Good. Nice. And then we're going to drop down into the twist. So right hand comes down, left arm goes up. Probably just do whatever you did on that very first side in regards to the front foot. Most important thing, as always, is to maintain the breath in and out of your nose. Keep an even pace, or extend out those exhales a little bit if you need the extra little push towards parasympathetic. Good. One more inhale, reaching, and then exhale. Left hand down. Let's wiggle those hips back, flex your left foot, and then fold over that left leg. Breathing in and out of your nose. Awesome. Soften where you can. Good. Nice deep breaths. Nice. Let's bend into left knee, hands down, and move through some cat-cow or hip circles, whichever you feel called to do. Good. And then we're gonna get into another little twist here. Bring your right hand to the floor, reach and stretch that left arm up. We're gonna bring the left shoulder to the earth, thread the needle. So this is a twist right here. This is good. If you want a little extra here, you can start to lift the left leg back behind you and then curl left toe under. So that's gonna add more of a twist here. It may also challenge your balance just a little bit here. Good. So the left leg with toe curled under, totally optional. Breathe in and out of your nose. Good. If your left leg is lifted, set that left knee down, plant your right palm to the floor, counter stretch left arm, left hand down. Again, move your spine in a way to integrate. So it could be cat-cow, it could be hip circling. Nice. Let's plant the left palm down and then reach and stretch that right arm up, and then bring your right shoulder to the earth. So do whatever you did on the very first side. If you want to play around with the balance here, you can curl that right toe under. That is going to deepen the twist, challenge your balance a bit here, as well as get a little deeper into the back of that right shoulder. Nice deep breaths. If your right knee is lifted, go ahead, set it down. Left palm plants, right arm up, back to table. Let's take it back into a downward facing dog here. Or if your body says child's pose, then go back to child's pose. Either one is a stretch for the spine. So down dog or child's pose. Taking some nice deep breaths here, in and out of your nose. So whichever one you choose, totally fine. We will all meet back at the same place regardless. So if you're in down dog, you want to move around, bend your knees one by one, you can always do that. Good. Just breathe deeply here. If you're in a child's pose, either meet down dog or come to table. And then everybody, we are going to find our way to a forward fold at the very front side of the mat. So go ahead, step your way up to front side of the mat. Bend your knees if you need to in order to support that low back. And just fold there. Good. And then we're going to inhale, lengthen the torso. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, stand. Reaching up, looking up. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Awesome. Bring your hands to hips or waist. Go ahead, take a big turn here and a big wide step out. We'll do a few warrior poses. So we'll start by turning the right foot towards the right, heel to arch or heel to heel, left foot slightly pigeon-toed in. Big inhale, arms sweep out. Exhale, 3 breaths in your warrior 2. So find your warrior 2. Let your eyes soften out over the right middle finger, right knee, going right over toes 2 and 3 of that right foot. Make sure none of the toes grip the floor, and then we're gonna move a little bit with this. So on your inhale, straighten out the right leg, reach arms up. Exhale, sit back down. 2 more. Inhale, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, come back down. Last one. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, come all the way back down and then into side angle. So elbow onto thigh, and then left arm reaches up and over. Really open up the left hip. Make sure you're breathing deeply here. Strongly and firmly planted down through outer edge of left foot. Couple more breaths here. Awesome. Good. Inhale, up, warrior 2. Hands to hips or waist, straighten right leg, turn the toes. Outer edges of feet, parallel outer edges of the mat. Let's circle hips around. Good. So here's a tip for you guys. Don't put lotion on your feet before you practice yoga. And then go ahead, go the other way, especially if it's a face cream, because you want a little extra softness. So those of you seeing me slip and slide, that's why. I have a great face cream if you need to know the name of it. Come back to center. Let's go ahead and turn your left foot to the left, slightly pigeon toe in right foot. Inhale, arms sweep out. Exhale, warrior 2. So come down, 3 breaths here, left side, left knee over toes 2 and 3. So this one, we're just really getting nice and aligned for when we start the movement. Good. 3 breaths. Inhale, reach up, straighten leg, look up. Exhale, come back down. 2 more. Inhale, reach up, look up, stretch up. Exhale, come down. Last one. Inhale, reach up, look up, stretch up. Exhale, come back down. And then let's bring the left forearm to left thigh, right arm up and over. Big open place here. Keep firm through that right outer edge of your right foot. Left knee widening. Good. One more nice deep breath here. And then try to inhale up to warrior 2. Good. Hands to hips or waist, straighten left leg. Turn the toes, outer edges of feet, parallel outer edges of mat. Let's circle hips around again. Nice. This is a really nice way to loosen up those hips and loosen up the low back, is just to do these big wide-legged hip circles. Go ahead, go the other way. Good. This is good if you have a job that you have to stand a lot in, which I don't know anybody who has a job like that unless they have a standing desk these days. But let's come back to center. We're going to go to triangle. So turn your right foot to the right, heel to arch, heel to heel, left foot slightly pigeon-toed. Inhale, arms reach out. Make sure the right knee has some room to bend and straighten, and then come to your triangle. So your triangle today may be different than other days. Bring that right hand anywhere on the right leg. And again, make sure your right leg does not lock out. You can look straight ahead, you can look down. Anything that works for you here, totally fine. Nice deep breath. Good. And then strong legs. Let's inhale back up. Awesome. Hands to hips or waist, and then turn the right toes. Take a releasing breath in and out. Let's go to left side. So left foot to left, heel to arch, heel to heel, right foot pigeon-toed in. Make sure, again, you can kind of bend the left knee. We don't want to lock out the joint. Inhale, arms sweep out, and then exhale into triangle here on left side. Right hip nice and open. Right arm reaching up. You can do whatever you want to with the head or the neck. You can look down, look straight ahead, or look up. Just make sure the breath is still flowing. So easy to forget the breath, right? Nice deep breaths. Good. Look down at your left foot. Big inhale to stand. Hands to hips or waist. Turn those left toes. Again, check your feet. Make sure your big toes are in the same line. Outer edges of feet parallel outer edges of mat. Hands to hips or waist. Inhale, chest and heart lifts. And then exhale, let's go ahead and fold. Wide-legged forward fold. So take your hands wherever is comfortable. You can leave them on your waist. You can grab the feet, anything here. Spending a little bit of time just in this fold, getting those backs of the legs. Make sure here your knees don't lock out. Careful with those knees. And also bend the knees if you feel like you're overstretching backs of legs. Take support under your hands if you need it. Just enjoy the inversion. Nice. Good, let's press into your feet. Inhale and stand. Awesome, exhale up at the top. And then we're gonna stay standing for this next pose. So hands to hips or waist, we're gonna pivot towards, let's pivot towards the right first, okay? And then make sure your feet are hip width. You're gonna bend into that right knee. So left foot back, right foot forward, crescent warrior. So reach and stretch up. And then we're gonna move here into a twist. So you can make this twist as deep as you want it. You can just take that left hand down, reach the right arm up. You can take your palms together, take left elbow over the right knee, okay? You can even, if you want a little depth, come onto the ball of that right foot, lift the right heel, and then try to separate the torso away from the right thigh, pull the outer right hip back. You can also drop that left knee down to the earth if you need to. Good, couple more breaths here. Good, if your right heel is lifted, set it down. Everybody drop the hands down to frame the right foot. We're gonna move to pyramid. So step the left foot in 1 or 2 footprints, left heel down, and then fold over that right leg. Get the back of the neck nice and long. Take some nice deep breaths here. And again here, make sure that right knee is not locking out. You want to make sure you can bend and straighten it. Take support underneath your hands if you need it here, blocks, pillows, anything you have there at home. And always check in with the back of the neck, shoulders, hands. Make sure that those areas are relaxed as possible. Couple more breaths. Good. Bring your hands slowly up to those hips and inhale up. Good. And we're just gonna pivot to turn left foot forward, right foot back. You will have to change the width between your feet. So left foot, right foot, hip width apart. Inhale to your crescent. So I'll wait for everyone to come here. You can always pop that right knee down on the floor if you need to. And then move into your twist. Again, option 2, simply take the right hand down, reach left arm up. If you want a little more depth, you can take that elbow over the knee. You can also lift the left heel just for fun. You can also drop the right knee down and take this easy. Whatever you do, keep breathing, pull the outer left hip back, especially in your twist. Keep those hips as even as possible. Twist happening from the waist and not the low back. Couple more breaths. Good. If your left heel is lifted, lower it. Everyone bring those hands down to the floor. Right foot comes in 1 or 2 footprints, left leg straightens, and just fold. Good. Nice deep breaths. Awesome. Relaxing face, jaw. Left knee has the ability to bend if needed. Back of the neck long, support under hands if needed. Awesome. Good, and then go ahead and slowly pull that outer left hip back, bring your hands to hips or waist, inhale, and then we're gonna take a pivot here, turn, we're gonna come to a squat. So feet not quite hip width, a little bit wider, heels and toes out, and then slowly make your way down there to Malasana. Come on down. And if it's really difficult, you can always bring blankets up underneath those heels. Press the knees out. So do your best to keep your back nice and straight. Slow the breath down. Good. Nice. And then you're going to slowly to come down here, just drop those hands back behind you. Bring your feet so they are about as wide as your mat, maybe a little wider. Come onto your heels, hands behind you. Windshield wiper, knees side to side. Give those hips a nice little massage. Good. And then next time your knees pop down and over to the left side, stay there. I'm just going to turn. You have the option to just stay here lifted and reach that right arm up and over, or you can take your left hand down and press the left shin bone down, lift the hips up, take this really big stretch here. Totally up to you, whichever one you do. So you'll compress the back a little bit and stretch the front of that right hip. Awesome. Good. Slowly come back down, meet everyone who didn't take the lift. And then you're going to bring that hand to the floor. Big inhale, lift your torso, and you're going to come down onto your elbows and just fold here. You can wiggle that right foot back a little bit to accentuate the twist. You can stay upright, or you can stack your palms and lower your forehead down onto the hands. Good. Whichever you choose, just be there, be with it, breathe with it. Good. Let's come back up onto the hands. You're going to slowly come back through center, hands behind you. Let's windshield wiper a little bit side to side to integrate what we just did. Good. And then come on over to the left side. And same thing we did on that first side. You can simply just take the left hand down and then, or the right hand down and reach and stretch the left arm up and over. Sorry, I'm all backwards. You guys are probably doing good regardless. You can stay here, or you can press that right shin bone down and lift the hips up. Don't do this if it feels like pinching in the low back. Good. Just a big stretch. Hips lower down if you lifted them. And then again, turn. You're either going to just bring those forearms down, pause and rest there, or you can take your palms, stack them, bring your forehead down, rest that way. And just find some nice deep breaths here. Good, and then when you're ready, come back up on those hands. We're going to come through center here, windshield wiper. Good, and then let's come back to the mat to table pose. So go ahead and transition back to your table pose. Move through a few cat-cows here, integrating everything. Good, and then let's come down to the belly, nice and Slowly, thumbs in line with the chest, tops of feet to the floor. Inhale to a cobra. Exhale, lower down, touch your forehead. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale to lift. And then exhale back into child's pose. So coming all the way down to your child's pose, forehead to the floor, nice deep breaths. And just find something here to connect with, the earth, your breath. Just allowing yourself to connect here. Good. We're going to thread the needle here from child's pose. If it doesn't work and you feel better doing this from table pose, then I'll invite you to go to table pose to hit thread the needle. So if you know that that's the case, go ahead and go on up into table. We're going to start with kind of curling the right hand forward and bringing the back of the left shoulder to the earth. You might widen your knees a little bit in order to get the back of that left shoulder down. You can come onto the left ear. You can keep curling the right hand forward, or you can wrap the right arm around you onto the left hip with the right hand open. Lots of options here. Good. Breathing deeply. You can really lengthen out those exhales here. Awesome. Let's go ahead and bring the left arm back out in front. Take a couple of breaths here. Let your forehead rest to the earth. And then if you're in table pose, then you're going to go ahead and bring that right shoulder, or if you're in the child's pose, go ahead, thread the needle other side, right shoulder to the earth. You can come onto the right ear. You can keep curling the left fingertips forward, or you can wrap that left arm onto the low back with the left palm facing open. Just kind of find your position, breathe into it. This will really get those lymph nodes moving, the fluid in the body really, really moving. I think we're about to hit allergy season again. So these poses will be helpful to keep the fluids in the body moving. A couple more breaths. Good. Let's bring the right palm back to child's pose. Just a couple more breaths. If you were in table, go ahead and move back to child's pose. Take a couple more breaths here. Awesome. Let's move back up to table and take a few cat-cows. Good. And then we're going to move back into a downward facing dog. Okay, so this can be a down dog or it can be a forward fold. So with your down dog, you're going to walk your feet so they are as wide as your yoga mat, and you get your heels all the way down to the floor. So it's like a shortened down dog, okay? We're gonna move this into a twist. So you can also do this from a forward fold. If the down dog feels super unstable, you can walk up, widen your feet, bring the feet to the floor. We're gonna keep the left palm planted to the earth and then reach right arm underneath and through the body, grab onto the outer edge of the left ankle. And try to relax your head and shoulders. Again, you can do this from a forward fold, so the hands and feet are closer to one another. It's a twist, and it's also kind of a nice way to open up and strengthen those shoulders. Take one more breath here. I know it can be a lot. And then drop the right hand back to the earth. And then let's reach the left arm underneath. Grab onto the outer edge of that right ankle. Nice deep breaths, head relaxing. Press back through those heels. So you're also getting a nice big opening in those calf muscles. Achilles, couple more breaths here. Nice. Let's bring the left hand back to the floor. Everybody walk back to a regular down dog. From here, we're going to move into pigeon. I've been stuck on this pose if you haven't noticed, but if you know that you do pigeon on your back, if it bothers your knee in any way, shape, or form, go ahead, move on to your back. And we'll do this from the back or from down dog. You're going to reach the right leg back behind you, bend knee, open up the hip, big stretch here. And then bring the right shin bone in front of your body. Now, if you're on your back, simply take the right outer ankle to the bent left knee. Everybody in folded over pigeon. Inhale, lift chest and heart. And then exhale, fold down. We're going to stay here for a minute. So if you're on the earth doing pigeon with your right outer ankle to the left knee, make sure the right foot is flexing. Okay, and then you can, if you want to, bring that left leg off of the floor, interlace the hands behind the left leg, flex the left foot. Just do whichever variation feels best for you. Either variation, check in with your face, shoulders, jaw, neck, all of those areas. Just try to relax them as much as possible. Make sure your breath is still flowing here in and out of your nose. Slowly, steadily. Just a couple more breaths here. Keep pulling the outer right hip back if you're in the folded over place. Try not to let your hips twist too entirely much. Good. And then when you're ready from here, if you're on your back, just bring both feet to the floor. If you're folded over, hands down, left toe curls under. Lift up and back, down dog. If you are on your back, just hang, just chill. Down dog, you can bend knees one by one just for a minute here. Noticing contrast. And then reach the left leg back behind you, bend the knee, open up the hip nice and high. Good, and then bring the left shin bone in front of the body. Or if you are on your back, take your left outer ankle to the right knee. If you're folded over, big inhale, torso lengthens, and then exhale. Go ahead, come down onto those forearms and just fold here. And just breathe. In and out of your nose. Good, and whatever variation you did on the first side, go ahead and repeat it here. Keep the breath slow and steady. Do your best to stay out of speculation. Be with this moment, this breath. Good. If you're on your back, just stay there. Everybody else, bring hands to the floor. Right toe curls under. Lift your hips up and back. Come back to your down dog. You can bend your knees one by one. Good. If you're on your back, just hang there. We are about to come down and meet you there. Everyone from your down dog, you can just drop down to table. Swing the legs out to the side. Come to rest on the back. So we meet everybody on their back. We're going to do one more little back bend here. So press your feet down, lift those hips up, bridge pose. Do whatever works for you with the shoulders. You can walk them underneath you. You could bring your elbows down. Just try not to let your knees splay out. And then don't turn your head or neck once you come into the shape. Try to keep the back of the neck long. If you feel a whole bunch of tension in the backs of those legs, the hamstrings, try to ease up just a little bit. Try not to overdo that. Couple more breaths here, in and out of your nose. Awesome. Go ahead, lower your hips down, bring the soles of the feet together, let your knees open up, untuck the shoulders, and just rest here for a moment. So starting to connect down with earth, letting your breath slow little by little, letting those tendencies towards speculation come and go. So they will always come, right? Because we're human. It's part of our survival mechanism to plan and to revisit past events and to plan for future. But what our practice allows us to do is disconnect from that part of the brain for bits of time so that we can expand our creativity, be more useful to our fellow people. Good. When you're ready, bring your feet down to the floor and then hug your knees into the chest nice and tightly. You can circle the knees around. You can be a little curious here, maybe playful. Take one hand on each of the knees and then circle knees away from one another. You can make those circles really big, or you can make them really small. You can circle the knees the opposite way. Again, just for fun, just playing, exploring, being curious here. Good. And then we're going to come to a supported shoulder stand or full shoulder stand if you want to do that today. Don't turn your head or neck from here. So option one, just stay here with knees hugging in. It's an inversion. Option two, you can float those feet up into the air. Option three, if you want to take a regular shoulder stand, you can do that. I'm going to do that today, but just because I am doesn't mean you have to. So just give yourself about 1 minute here. If you're at home and you want to take a pillow up underneath those hips, or even just take your hips up to the wall, put the legs up the wall, you can do that. Slow your breath down. I've been putting my legs up the wall both nights before bed, the last 2 nights, and I've gotten amazing sleep. Just doing that before bed for about 15-20 minutes, listening to a guided meditation. Super deep sleep. Could be a coincidence, but you know. A few more breaths here. All right, let's everybody come all the way down. Hug those knees into the chest just for a moment here. And then we're going to keep your right knee hugging in. Extend your left heel out to the floor. And then we're going to twist over to the left side. So you can bring the right knee down and then open the right arm up. You can take the left hand to the right knee and kind of pull it closer to the earth. Just do what works for you here. If you have a twist that you would rather do instead of this one, go for it. And as always, if you want to stretch the front of the right side of your chest, you're going to leave the right hand to the floor, but drag the thumb up towards 12 o'clock. That's a really big stretch for the right shoulder, right pectoral muscle. You can even feel it down in the waist. Just don't overdo it. Couple more breaths. Good. Slowly come back to the floor just for a second to reset. Bring both feet down and then let your knees rest in towards one another. Take a couple breaths here. Awesome. And then hug both knees in. Give your back a little stretch and reset. Keep your left knee hugging in. Take your right heel down to the floor, and then right hand to left knee. Go ahead, find your twist on this other side. You can reach that left arm out. You can look away from the legs. You can do the front of the chest pectoral stretch by dragging left thumb up towards 12 o'clock. You'll keep your left palm facing open. So just get into that twist. You can take a totally different variation of a twist if you want, and then just really breathe deeply into it. In and out of the nose. Bring your head back to center. Come all the way back down. Bring those feet down. You can let your knees rest in towards one another for a couple breaths here. Just reset, recalibrate. And then let's do one more nice little hug of the knees into the chest. If you want to take a happy baby here at this time, you can do that, or take any other little movements. Go for it. Just winding down, getting any last little stretches out of your system before we move into Shavasana. So when you feel ready, you'll go ahead and move your body into position for Shavasana. You're welcome to move to a chair or a couch or bed if that is more comfortable for you for guided relaxation. You can even take those legs up the wall if you're feeling inspired. But start to just find a place where you can find stillness in the body. Now, as always, if you need to move or adjust, then do that. But get all of your moving and adjusting kind of out of your system here as you find the position that's comfortable for you. And let your eyes begin to close if they have not already done so. Start by just relaxing your face. Just feel this wave of warmth and have come over the eyes, letting them melt into the back of the head, letting the cheekbones just kind of melt, teeth separate, breath moving back and forth across the throat, eyes just softening. And then when you feel ready, start to notice that breath again. You can extend your exhales out a little longer than your inhales if that works for you. You can just settle at an even pace. Just find a rhythm of breath that is calming and soothing to your body. Bring your attention, your awareness up to the very top of your head. As you inhale, just feel this beautiful pooling of a warm sensation up at the very top of your head. And as you exhale, allow that warming sensation to spread and flow over the body. Letting that warming sensation go all the way down to your toes. And then inhaling again, feeling that warmth there, very top of the head. Exhaling the warmth from the top of the head, spreading over the entire body, going down to the toes, cooling, resting there. This beautiful wave of energy, of healing, rest, spreading over your entire body just by breathing. just by being aware. Feeling those waves of energy flow through you, flow over you. And as you feel that warming, healing energy of your breath, of your energy just flowing through you, start to feel the back of the head resting, letting go. Back of the neck lengthening, letting go of all need for searching, reaching, looking forward or back, speculating, just being with the sensation of that breath flow over your body. Coming up into the top of the chest, the collarbone, the lift as you just naturally inhale, the lowering as you exhale, the shoulders beautifully and gently expanding with each inhale, falling with each exhale. Ribs expanding beautifully with the inhale, back of the earth. Collapsing with the exhale. Belly rising, inhale. Falling with the exhale. Feeling the hips, the pelvis, the sacrum, the low back, just energetically releasing any held tension there, conscious or unconscious. Most of our held tension in the body is completely unconscious. It is simply a protective mechanism. So you can just gently reassure your body that it's okay to release anything it's holding on to in this moment as you just allow yourself to breathe freely. So again, feel this energetic wave of relaxation spreading from top of head all the way down to feet and toes, pooling gently there. Moving from the pelvis, the sacrum now to those upper thigh bones, just letting the tops of your legs be so heavy they could almost just fall right through the earth. The kneecaps feeling warmth encircling, encasing, backs of knees. Calf muscles just gently releasing, relaxing. Shin bones gently, heavily sinking down. Heels dropping down. Toes just gently flopping open, resting. Waves of energy in the soles of the feet, radiating up through the entire body, moving into the palms, allowing the hands, palms, fingers to rest and relax, able to release and receive simultaneously. Moving into forearms, elbows, upper arm bones, shoulders. Everything nice, heavy, held into the earth. Feeling this need to let go here, just overtaking the body, overtaking the mind, to release again any urges to speculate. You can pick those right back up in a moment here. When you're ready, taking a big inhale, holding breath in. Opening the throat, exhaling. From there, just finding some small movements, wiggling fingers, toes. Gently stretching arms, legs. Pulling those knees into the chest, giving yourself a beautiful embrace, hug, nurture. Moving on to your favorite side. Just pausing there for a moment. Good. And then making your way up to a nice comfortable seat, slowly, steadily. Keeping eyes resting closed, staying inside of this experience you've created for yourself so beautifully and kindly today. Bring palms together, let thumbs rest right at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And just taking a moment to honor yourself for taking this time today for you, for your body, for your mind, for your well-being. Feeling in your intention and your practice with this next breath in through your nose and out. And Jai Bhagwan, namaste. Thank you guys so much for coming and practicing today. It was lovely to have each and every one of you. Thank you.